Hello everyone, my name is Adigbola Oluwadarasimilayolu Atemilayo and I'm the General Secretary of the Nigerian Department, Kwara State University, and today we are in Ambassador Academy. This used to be my secondary school. Yes, where I started my nursery, and by the special grace of God I finished my SS3 in Ambassador Academy. So we are here to interview the proprietress of the school. So let's go. Hello everyone, welcome to another inspiring edition of Art Expert Corner. My name is Adigbola Oluwadarasimi Ayolua, the General Secretary of the Nigerian Department, Kwara State University, and here today we have a great mother. Okay, let me just tell you a short story. I started my nurseries from Ambassador, and by the grace of God, I finished my SS3 in Ambassador Academy. So, to our guest, we have the proprietress of my school. Can you introduce yourself to us?
Thank you so much, Mr. Adegbola Oluwadarasim. My name is Dr. Mary Adewumi Odedare. By the grace of God, I'm the proprietress of Ambassadors Academy. Ambassador Academy comprises of the nursery, primary, and the secondary aspect. And it is situated at Oyo here, along Oluro area, Kiroki, in Oyo State. Thank you.
So, from the topic, from vision to reality, building a legacy of learning. So, my first question is, what inspired you to establish Ambassador Academy, and where do you get the name from, and what was your vision about the school?
Thank you so much. Ambassadors Academy came by the leading of God. Actually, when I was schooling, I had the mind of going higher in my educational career. And what I've been nursing in my mind is to become a lecturer. So to say, a teaching, it's also a teaching, but I had the mind of lecturing in the university. But as God will have it, I made several efforts to get that. It didn't come my way. I tried several interviews. It didn't click. Some people assisted to no way, unknowingly to me, that God had another plan. Just as his word says, he said, your ways are not my ways, and your thoughts are not my thoughts. As heaven is high to the planet earth to here, so are the thoughts of God. So as God will have it, eventually we find ourselves in the running of private schools. That will not permit to give a long story of how it came to be. But eventually we find ourselves in the business of running private school by name Ambassadors Academy. To God be the glory forever. So I want to thank God.
The that is good. So, what are the visions you had when you wanted to start the
Yes, thank you for that. As we all know that I personally hail from this place, this Oyo town, and as a matter of fact, because I can say to some extent how we are faring educationally here. So when we were to start this school, we had the mind of bringing it closer to our people, being an indigene of this town. That by so doing, we believe we influence others, that our counterparts, our mates, and those that we are even older than, that we'll be able to influence them, bring them close to education, inspire them to be educated, and at the same time be ready to send their words, their children to school. So in short, our vision is to bring about all-round development of any child that are able to come to this school. So that's the focus, that's the vision, getting them developed all round. And when we talk all round, we mean academically, we mean socially, spiritually, and what have you.
Thank you for that, man. So, ever since the school has been in existence, what can you say the most historical moment that has happened that you cannot forget?
So many historical moments. So many historical moments. I want to know which one to
Pick first.
actually bring out. But all I can say is that since the inception of this school, and since God has been the foundation, it has been one testimony or the other. Can I start from the point that when we first started, we started from a rented apartment along the Awumaro area there. And when we started, we actually paid for three years. I could remember we rented the 16 rooms of a story building, a complete story building, and we paid for 3 years, believing that by the end of that 3, or even before the completion of that 3, God will have taken us to another higher place. But as God will have it, those people didn't allow us to even exhaust our 3 years. They came in form of criticizing, pushing us out, unknowingly to us that God, in His own plan, had already prepared this place for us. Where we are today, I tell you, is a testimony. And that makes it a serious history in the life of Ambassadors Private School. Because the time they were asking us to leave, we did not have any place in mind to go to, nor do we have any money even to rent any place. But as God will have it, and that's why we continue to be grateful to this, our father. He's a father-in-law to me, Dr. P.A. Ajuwon. He's the owner of Rombe Hospital in Ede. As at that time, Baba had gotten this place 30 years back. So, and it happened to be the time he wanted this place sold, happened to be the time that we too wanted a place to go to by virtue of the push we've been receiving from the landlord of that rented area. So my husband just said one day that, what do we do? Do we acquire this place? I said, there's money. And we came one Sunday evening, he's a surveyor. I was at the road there, holding the tape. Himself entered the bush here, and he was dividing the whole plot. And that's why till today, see our school. It's a pity we are inside, but when you go out, you'll see what I'm talking about. Those trees that we planted there is to demarcate, to mark the half we are taking out of the entire plot. So even after that, God just opened way and we started building here. So we not finished before we came here, but we want to thank God and thank God those parents that believed in God, believed in us then. They still followed us that year. To me, that period marked a significant period in the life of this school so historical to me, and I want to give it back to God for making it possible. There are several others.
Thank God for that. Well, being the NAFS president or the NAFS chairman of Oyo State, how do you prioritize the position and maintaining the school together? Because that won't be an easy task because it's not just an area, it's the whole Oyo State. So how do you prioritize managing that with maintaining the school?
You are right. You are right. Currently, I'm the NAPS chairman of your state, overseeing the entire private schools in the whole of 33 local governments of the state. It's an Herculean task. But I want to thank God since 2022, September 28th, that I've become the state chairman. It has been God. And I want to appreciate God for that. But combining the two together, though it has not been so easy, like I said, it's an Herculean task. But one thing I could say is that the structure on ground, with the help of God, had really helped. As a school owner, I've got to know that you as a proprietor or proprietress should be able to detach yourself from the school, because there is nothing anybody can do. Nobody will remain for life in this planet Earth. When you go, like I used to tell my people, what we are into, we are to outlive us. And what I mean by that is that when we finish our own assignment, we will leave. What God has given us, what God has committed to our hand, is a public place where everybody, even children yet unborn, will still come here to benefit from the service we are rendering here. So I can say in short that what has really helped me is the structure in place. Get your structure well defined, got your structure clearly stated. Let A, B, C know where it belongs and what's expected of each of them to do. With that, there won't be any problem. All that require is look for a way of getting your daily reports, weekly reports, monthly reports. Then you yourself must be hard working. Most time I burn candle. Most time I sleep late in the night. Because whatever report, whatever paper they are passing to me, I just have to sit down. As you see me, questions of this school from Play G to SS3 every time, I personally will go through before the final printing is done. I check the lesson notes, I check the scheme, and the weekly record of work done by each and everybody. Those that are non-academic, they have a way by which they pass their report to me. All those have to be checked as when due, and you communicate back. So in short, the structure in place has really helped me with the help of God.
How do you stay updated with the latest educational trend? Maybe this is new, the new syllabus, the new things.
On that, thank you so much. For us at Ambassadors Academy, there is no problem. We even, the kind of training, the kind of mindset we have, and the kind of exposure we had by the grace of God has always been helping us to go ahead of any policy. Taking for example, when the issue of CBT, computer-based tests, will be introduced by JAM, right from the time they have been carrying rumors about it, even ever before JAM started it, I can boldly tell you that at Ambassadors, we had started writing. All we did there was to go and get that software. We get ready in our ICT, and we started introducing our students to writing some subject exams. by CBT. Talking of civic, which is general to all of them, English
English.
language, and departmental. The way we are doing it, if this department subject is taken by CBT this time, another time another department will be there, just like that. So we started with that to the extent that the first set of our students in our secondary school, when they were to go for their JAM exam, in fact, they came out so strong. I cannot believe it. All I can see is that the following day after they have all seen their results, I was outside there and they all came hugging me. I was like, what's wrong with you children this day now? If you are to play, is this the way to play with me? They said, no, mommy, we have come to say thank you, ma. We love you, ma. In fact, the jam we went for was a walkover. I said, you don't mean it? And as at that time, I have among them that scored 250, 260, you know, it was just too marvelous. And what really helped there was as a result of the CBT, we had started introducing them to ever before JAM started their own. So you could see that that's a policy, and already as a school, we had gotten it ahead of them. Not only that, the curriculum, like the case of history was just introduced back into the curriculum about 4 years ago, if I'm not mistaken, if I could get the year right. Before that, when we had it, before the implementation, we had gotten out there, overhauling our curriculum. We brought all the content of the history in and we started teaching. That year, I can tell you, several schools, several GSS3 students could not meet up, but not the case of ambassadors, because we had gotten it earlier and we have started introducing our children to it. There are so many of that, like the literatures for their best say. There was a particular year like that. There are several schools could not meet up. Some couldn't get the actual book to read. But at Ambassador, because by the grace of God, I go extra mile just because of these children. When there's any information released, as regard the change in policy as affects education, we look for a way out ever before anything. And that has been helping us. So we are coping. There's no problem.
There's a preparation for them even before
Ahead of any, and that's one thing. One good thing the children at ambassadors are enjoying.
I'm happy to say the same because I enjoyed part of the
We
good
thank God for
things.
that. We thank God
So,
for that.
Ma, what leadership skills or advice would you give people who want to also start a school?
That's a good one. Starting a school, running a school business is not a child's play. It's not a child's play. And that's why one have to be very, very careful. You have to make sure that you have all it takes. First and foremost, you should know that it is life of human being you want to be dealing with in running a school. These are destinies coming to you, and you must be sure that are you really there to mar this destiny or mold it in a positive way. Because what you don't have, you cannot give. First and foremost, as an intending school proprietor, you develop yourself. Get the needed knowledge. You yourself get education, because that is the key. If you don't know what you want to teach, you'll be teaching nonsense. And apart from that, save towards it. Have a saving towards it. So it's not something you think today and you start today. It's in process. Have a saving. I know for sure that a road is not built in a day. But even at that, save towards it. Give yourself a time to save towards it. Then have a mentor. Look for people that have been into it before you. Let them mentor you. Don't be too full of yourself. Don't be too big to be mentored. Then go out there to gather information. Subject yourself to seminar attendance, workshop attendance. Get knowledge. Knowledge is power. Knowledge is power. So with that few points, there are a lot. Oh, there are lots. Then God. Don't leave God out of anything you want to do. Because without God, we are nothing, we are zero. But with God and believe in Him, whatever you lay hands on surely will prosper according to His word.
So, mommy, well, there are sometimes that everything you become tired of it. So, what keeps motivating? Like, what motivates you to keep pushing? And because I can see that you've achieved a lot of things within the time frame, and you are still achieving some excellence. But what motivates you to do these things?
Those children, those children were turning out, their successes are motivating me. I feel happy when I hear about them. Thank God it's one of you are one of them. You are one of them. So I want to appreciate God for that. Once I see them, once I hear about them, no. Then I know I'm on the right track. I'm doing the right thing. When it comes to molding life, what other thing do you think God loves most? This is it. Life. Life of other human beings is so important to God, our Maker. And so, if God has called you into a ministry of molding life, putting life on the right track, no, that is enough, a motivation. And that has been a propeller that is propelling me by the grace of God.
Thank you for that, ma. But I have another question here. Since you are the mother of the house, how do you run family matters with business matters? And what is daddy's contribution to the school?
Oh, thank you so much. My husband is a lovely husband, Dr. Sovio Kayode Oyeniyi Odedare. I pray God will keep him for me. God will keep me also for him. He's my motivator. He's a caring one. He's always ready. He accepts me as I am. In our family, by the grace of God, we are helping to each other. Whatever I think I cannot handle, he comes in to handle. And whatever is expected of me to handle, if I'm available, I do it. At the home front too, nothing is lacking. My husband, by his own time, doesn't like eating outside. So whether we break or bend, that food early in the morning must get to table before I set out. If it's ready 4 a.m., he's ready to take it. The food is ready 5 a.m., he's ready to take it. But first and foremost, that has to be done. And I don't compromise it for any other thing too. So all other things that I needed to take care in the family as a mother, as a woman, as a wife, nothing is lacking. God is helping me to maintain balance with the assistance and the help of my husband. One funny thing, they used to do this every morning. I was at table this morning, 30 questions. I said, I've given myself a target. And I said, before 7 something, I must finish this before going down to the kitchen. While I was there, he brought the early morning tea to me to take. What else do I want as a wife? So I want to thank him. So on front, it's been lovely, it's been okay, and God has been helping us.
That's great and wonderful, very lovely. So, mommy, how do you overcome? You know that in this school there'll be challenges, there'll be setbacks, there'll be failures, and how do you overcome it? And what lessons have you learned from
So many challenges. Yes, that's true. That's true. But in all, it's been God. Where do I place human power here? There is nothing human being can do. Challenge? Do I talk of challenges of parents? Challenges of students and pupils? Challenges from teachers? So all those put together, they are enough, a serious thing. But God has been helping us to surmount whatever comes as a mountain. God has been helping us. Because as a school owner, you must just make sure that all things work well. Teachers must be in the right frame of mind before he or she can discharge what's expected of him. Students, pupils, they must be okay. If they are not okay psychologically, there's no teaching. Even if you teach, nothing will be comprehended. So, God has been helping us to overcome all these challenges.
Mommy, what are the most significant challenges that most schools are now facing? Most private school outside.
Oh, yes. By virtue of the fact that I happen to be the current chairman of NAMS, the lot of reports I receive on daily basis. We resumed, this is our sixth week. I think the last 5 weeks we've been in school for this session for staff. And within these weeks, there have been these complaints from several of our private schools about paucity of teachers. This one will say, I don't have teacher. This one, that one will say, I don't have enough teacher. So that's a serious challenge. The reason for this, I don't think it's far-fetched. Some of the graduates that are even trained as education or trained to be a teacher are not ready to be in school to teach. Some are out there looking for quick money. All they're after is let money start flowing. They don't know that God is not a magician. So this is a very serious one and it's ongoing in most of our schools. Paucity of teacher is a challenge now.
So, mommy, what is the last question I have is what is that one thing that you're looking forward to accomplish, like being in the system, the school system?
I'm looking on to God sustaining us because there's no one that wants to start a work and see it crumbling. We are praying that God in His power should sustain us, and we are believing Him to take us to higher realm, supplying us all other facilities needed for this work to move faster.
Thank you very much for today, mommy. I really enjoyed it. Even as a student, once a student, it was is a great privilege to be here. And thank you very much for
You're
having
welcome.
us.
You're welcome.
So thank you very much, guys, for watching. I hope you like, subscribe, and share this wonderful edition. It is a very inspiring edition. You won't want to miss the next episode. Thank you. Bye.
Bye. Thank you for having me. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, mommy.
God bless you.